War at OSLC. Bronwyn Newport suffers painful injuries in horrific attack. RHOSLC newbie, Bronwyn Newport has suffered painful injuries during a horrific attack. She showcased them and the story is just as atrocious as her bruises. So what happened and is she okay? Keep reading for more details on the entire traumatic situation. Bronwyn Newport suffers painful injuries in attack. RHOSLC fans are still torn on Bronwyn Newport. The newcomer has an eclectic way of dressing. Sometimes she wears hardly anything at all. She also has a much older husband, Todd Bradley, who is quite wealthy, so there is a lot to talk about with her. However, fans seem to appreciate her and what she brings to the table. There were questions about the level of drama that would ensue with Monica Garcia getting the axe after one season. She seemingly manipulated her way onto the show, blew up the cast, and had no remorse. Regardless, the hit Bravo series is doing just fine and Bronwyn could be part of the reason. Unfortunately, her luck has not been so good, according to People. The mother of one shared that she was attacked by a dog who punctured her 37 times. She noted that she could not get it off of her, which was terrifying during the whole ordeal. It started out fairly innocent back in April 2023. Bronwyn should have known then to leave well enough alone, but she did not as the pup began to circle her. He then went right for her knee and she screamed, which she knew was wrong. However, Bronwyn had never been bitten by a dog before, so this threw her completely for a loop. Unfortunately, she believes that her reaction made the situation worse. Fortunately, someone at the park was able to help the RHOSLC star and the medics were called. She landed in the hospital with 37 bites and a fractured bicep. Bronwyn left with stitches in her arm and leg. Rehabilitating the dog. As the RHOSLC star ended up finding out, the dog had a medical condition that affected its behavior. Therefore, she and her husband paid for him to be treated and placed in a proper home. Fans have seen the bruises on the show and now, after hearing the story, were shocked at what transpired. Many viewers chimed in about Bronwyn Newport and this horrific incident. The way she downplayed it, I was expecting a single bite. Sis was mauled by that dog. Some y'all owe homegirl an apology for insisting it was her own dogs that attacked her. It's really kind of her and Todd to pay for the dog's expenses and rehoming. I was worried that it would have to be put down after that incident. Very scary. Others noted that if it had been any other franchise, this dog incident would have been played up for seasons. Yet Bronwyn has healed and moved on with her life. In a shocking turn of events that has left fans of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reeling, newcomer Bronwyn Newport has found herself at the center of a horrifying and violent ordeal. The incident, described as a vicious and unprovoked attack, occurred late Friday evening, shaking the local Salt Lake City community and prompting an outpouring of support from her co-stars and fans alike. The incident unfolds. Details surrounding the attack are still emerging, but multiple sources close to Bronwyn confirm that she suffered painful injuries after being ambushed outside an upscale restaurant where she had been dining with friends. According to witnesses, the attack was swift, brutal, and seemingly targeted. It was chaos, an anonymous bystander recounted. One moment Bronwyn was laughing with her group, and the next, she was on the ground, screaming. A person came out of nowhere, shoved her, and everything escalated so fast. The attacker, reportedly cloaked in dark clothing and a hood, fled the scene before security or authorities could intervene. It remains unclear whether this was a random act of violence or something more personal, but given Bronwyn's relatively fresh arrival into the RHOSLC orbit, speculation is already mounting. Painful injuries. Bronwyn was quickly rushed to a nearby hospital, where she was treated for what sources describe as painful but non-life-threatening injuries. According to insiders, Bronwyn sustained bruised ribs, cuts to her face, and a sprained wrist from the force of the fall and subsequent scuffle. She's shaken up, absolutely devastated, a close friend shared. She's in physical pain, but the emotional toll is even worse. Bronwyn keeps replaying the moment in her mind, asking why this happened to her. It's every woman's nightmare, to feel unsafe, to be blindsided like that. Who is Bronwyn Newport? Bronwyn's addition to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast had already stirred intrigue. A polished entrepreneur with ties to Utah's elite, She quickly earned a reputation as a no-nonsense, fiercely independent woman. Her signature wit and confidence made her an immediate fan favorite, but her unapologetic demeanor also placed her at odds with certain cast members. While Bronwyn's storylines so far have centered around her business ventures and attempts to bond with her co-stars, she's also hinted at deeper struggles beneath her composed exterior. People see what they want to see, she shared in a recent confessional. They think I have it all together, but there's so much I'm still processing. The attack has now thrust Bronwyn into a new and far more vulnerable chapter, one that threatens to upend her life both on and off screen. Co-stars speak out. As news of the attack spread, several RHOSLC cast members took to social media to share their support for Bronwyn, many expressing shock and outrage over the incident. Meredith Marks, always the voice of composure, tweeted, "Violence of any kind is unacceptable. My heart goes out to Bronwyn and her loved ones during this difficult time. Stay strong, Queen. #RHOSLC." Lisa Barlow, who has maintained a somewhat rocky relationship with Bronwyn since the latter's arrival, posted on Instagram stories, "I'm so saddened to hear about what happened to Bronwyn. No one deserves this. Wishing her a speedy recovery." Even Whitney Rose, who has been vocal about her skepticism toward Bronwyn's intentions on the show, shared a heartfelt message. "We might not always see eye to eye, but Bronwyn is still one of us. No woman deserves to be attacked like that. Praying for her healing and safety." Jen Shah's absence from the conversation was immediately noted by fans, given her own contentious history with the RHOSLC group. However, insiders suggest that Jen, currently facing her own legal troubles, is choosing to stay out of the fray. Police investigation underway. Salt Lake City police have launched a full investigation into the attack, with authorities urging anyone with information to come forward. Surveillance footage from the restaurant's exterior is reportedly being reviewed, and police are following multiple leads. "We take violent crimes very seriously," an SLCP spokesperson said in a statement. "Our officers are working diligently to identify the individual responsible and bring them to justice." For Bronwyn, the investigation offers hope for answers, though she's also wary of the intense media scrutiny that has followed the incident. A confidant revealed, "Bronwyn's trying to stay strong, but she's overwhelmed. She's scared to leave her house right now. She's asking herself if being on RHOSLC has made her a target." Life after the attack. The attack has cast a shadow over what was supposed to be Bronwyn's triumphant entry into Salt Lake City's social scene. Already questions are swirling about whether the incident will be addressed in the upcoming season of RHOSLC. Sources say Bravo producers are in close communication with Bronwyn, balancing the network's desire for transparency with sensitivity to her trauma. "She's still figuring out what she wants to do," a show insider explained. "Bronwyn's strength is what makes her so compelling on camera, but this is a whole new level of vulnerability. It's up to her how much she wants to share." Fans of the show have rallied around Bronwyn, flooding her social media with supportive messages. The hashtag Justice for Bronwyn began trending within hours of the news breaking, with viewers calling for her attacker to be held accountable. A turning point. As Bronwyn Newport recovers from her injuries, both physical and emotional, she finds herself at a critical juncture. Will this horrific attack fuel her resolve to reclaim her strength, or will it pull her further into a place of fear and uncertainty? For now, those close to her say Bronwyn is focusing on healing and finding a way to move forward. "Bronwyn has always been a fighter," her friend emphasized. "This might have shaken her, but it won't break her. If anyone can rise above this, it's her." For viewers of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Bronwyn's ordeal is a sobering reminder of the real-life dangers that even the most glamorous lives can face. As the investigation continues and Bronwyn begins the long road to recovery, one thing remains clear. The support of her fans, her friends, and the Bravo community will be unwavering.